Hey guys, hope you are doing good. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have real data, real Swiggy data. These are orders made by me and my brother and also some of his friends. It's absolutely real data. We're gonna try and analyze this data using BigQuery and try to see some insights. Okay. So this is one table we have. Like obviously we have the ID of the order and the items ordered in that, and whether the item was vegetarian or not. This is one, and the second table is the order data, like basically the order ID, what was the total amount spent in the order, what was the name of the restaurant, when was it ordered, the date or time of the order, whether it was raining that day or not. So I think Swiggy has something like a rain mode, and whether the order was delivered on time or not, right? So we have these metrics. We're going to try and analyze, answer simple business questions using BigQuery. This is going to be a very, very interesting project which all of you can use for your portfolio. So let's start with items and let's start with some basic questions, right? For example, you want to know how many distinct items were ordered, right? Like name of items. How would you do that? You could go and say count of distinct name from this table. And as you see, 164 unique items have been ordered. Okay. I will save all these queries and I'll share with you guys, so you can also practice. I'll just remove this limit, right? So this is question number 1. Let's go back to the data again. Now let us think of something. Let us see what is the distribution of veg and non-veg items. So in overall, how many items were veg, how many items were non-veg? So what we can do is we could say is veg, and let's just count the items. Let's say count of name, and I can give it an alias name as items, and then I just need to group by whether it was veg or not. So group by is veg. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we get mostly veg items, right? 180 were veg items, non-veg was around 12 items. I think there's a small error here. I don't know why they have is veg equal to 2. Probably it's vegan or something. There's just one item like that. So this is just to see distribution. As you see, majority of the orders have come from veg items. So I'm going to save this as well. Just give it some space. So now that we have some is veg equal to 2, let's go and check what it is, right? I'm quite curious. Probably it's an error. How do you do that? So you'll say select star from table where is underscore veg equal to 2. Let's see what we get. Oreo brownie. Probably it's because of the fact that it's like a dessert. I'm not sure, but yeah, this is that anomaly, right? So let me just copy this query. So maybe this data is wrong or something. Okay, let's go back to the original table again. Let's do some more things. We found out how many unique items were ordered. Let's see how many distinct orders were placed. How would you do that? You would simply say count of distinct order ID, right? So these were the unique orders that were placed. Okay, we've made 95 orders. That seems quite a lot. Let me again go back to the table. Let's do something interesting. You have a lot of in non-veg majority are chicken items. Let's see how many items contain the word chicken. So select star from this table. How would you do that? Here we have to call the like operator. So we'll say where name like, let's say chicken, like this, right? Put the right spelling here. And as you see, there are not a lot of items, right? So basically you have chicken fried rice, chicken parcel, chicken sausage, crunchy chicken. About like 10 items have this name, right? So to find how many had chicken, let me also save this here. And let's go back to the data again. Let's do a few more things. All right. What are the other favorite items we order? Okay, you have gobi items, you have paratha, you have sev puri, you have masala puri, and all that. Let's see, for instance, how many paratha items were ordered. So we'll say where name like paratha, right? Pretty similar to what we did for chicken. I personally like paratha, but we didn't order a lot. Probably that's a bit difficult to understand for me, but yeah, we didn't order a lot from Swiggy. Probably we ordered from some other food delivery company. But yeah, there are four items: paratha kurma, aloo paratha, and then some matar paneer and paratha, right? So this is another good question to answer. So now that we know this is done, let's see what was the number of average number of items per order, right? In some orders we make like 2 items, in some orders we make 3 items. So let's see what is that value. How would you do that? So what you can do is you can simply count the number of items and divide it by the count of distinct orders, right? So I think there were about 160 items and number of orders were around 95. Anyway, let's see. This is average items per order, right? Let's see what we get. So we have about 2.03. So on average per every order, we order like 2 items, 2.03 items. Quite an interesting question. Then you know most of this customer is ordering at least 2 items, right? So that is some insight for you as a company. So these are some of the questions we have answered using this table. One more interesting question we can answer is to see how many times each item was ordered, right? To see which is the topper. So let's say we'll do name and just count of star, and then just do group by items, right? Group by name. This will give us an idea which item was ordered a lot. As you see, a lot of items have been ordered only once. Let's say order by count of star, and then let's do descending. As you see, classic mac and cheese has been ordered 4 times. It is the highest. Then you have gobi Manchurian, paneer butter masala. I think it's everyone's favorite. So this has also been ordered 3 times. So by writing this query, we kind of know what this particular customer is fond of ordering, right? You can push your advertising campaigns accordingly sometimes. It's a very interesting question. So I'll also just save this query, right? So this gave us an insight. Okay, these items are ordered the most by this particular customer. Now let's move on to the other table, which is basically your order data. So here we have the order ID, we have the total amount spent on the order, the restaurant name, of course order time, and stuff like rain mode. Let's see what are the different values of rain mode. Like I don't think we usually ordered on like rainy days, but anyways, let's check. Okay, there is 2 and 5, right? So they have different rain modes. Maybe it's drizzling or high rain or something. I'm not sure. So there are distinct rain modes, right? So I'll just also save this query. And coming back here, so there are 3 types of rain mode. And I'll just go back to the original table again. Let's see how many times on time was delivered. So let's see the distinct on time. As you see, it's 0 and 1, right? Sometimes it's delivered on time, sometimes it's a little bit late, right? So it could be late because the restaurant took time to prepare. It could be late because the delivery boy took time to arrive to our destination, right? There could be a variety of reasons. Could dive deeper and further analyze these reasons and scenarios. All right. So now let's see how many distinct restaurants we have ordered from, right? So I'll just say count of distinct restaurant name. Okay, we've ordered from 49 distinct restaurants. Wow, I think we do have an urge to explore various cuisine, I guess. That's a lot, right? Now let's take it one step further. Now that we know we've ordered from 49 restaurants, we want to see is there a favorite restaurant. So for that, what can we do? We could simply say restaurant name and do a count of star, right, to see how many times we've ordered from each restaurant. Let me just remove this and let's do group by restaurant name, right? Okay, we have some restaurants where we've ordered twice. Let's do a order by count of star and of course descending. And there you go. The Bowl Company is our favorite. We've ordered 12 times. Mansook's is another restaurant which serves kind of North Indian and a little bit of South Indian food. We've ordered 6 times. It's pretty close to our house. Then Sangeeta's, we've ordered 4 times. The Table, we've ordered 4 times and so on. So quick way to get insights. Okay, which restaurant is this guy's favorite or this customer's favorite, for instance, right? So I'll just copy this information also. All right, so that's like giving us an insight which is our favorite restaurant, where do we order the most number of times. So let me go back here and again let's say select star. So let's find some more insights from the data. Okay, let's see what was the month, right, like which had like the most number of orders, for instance. So we have order time. If you guys remember, how do you find the month from that? So you could say format date of, you'll say %y %m, right? This will give the year and the month. For which column we put a comma and say for order time, and then you go and just say count of distinct order ID, right? So we will know in each month how many distinct orders we have placed. And now let's do group by this value. I'll just copy this. And then again we can say order by count of distinct order ID, right? And do descending. As you see, the last few questions concepts are the same. We are answering different business questions. So I think the highest was October 2021. I think this was just post COVID. We were getting comfortable again with ordering outside. That's the month with the highest orders. And then of course pre-COVID 2019 July, right? 07 is July. We've ordered 5 times and so on. But as you see, yeah, predominantly we order 3 or 4 times a month. There are a lot of months where we have just ordered once, right? So it's probably like once a week. This can be taken like an average. So I'll also just copy and save this query, right? So this is a way to understand, okay, what's the frequency of the customer ordering, right? So this is not complete data. Last few months we don't have, but in the data we have, let's see what is the last order we have made. So for that we can simply say max of order time, right? Like the latest order that has been made. It's on 5/2/2022 February. I think I took this data last March or April. So that is the last order made according to this data, right? Like the maximum order time. So this will give us the idea of the most recent order basically, right? So that's another interesting question to answer. Now let's see, for instance, how much order total was made or how much revenue was made by Swiggy in like each of the months, right? So for that, what can we do? We can say format date, again, like just do the old thing, right? You'll say %y %m of order time. And you want to sum the order total, right? That's kind of like the total revenue they make. So I'll call it total revenue. And yeah, let me just bring this down, right? And then let's say we want to group by this, group by basically this month format. And also let's say order by, I think I shouldn't leave a space between the two, so I'll just say order by total revenue. And let's do descending. Okay, 6,000 rupees spent in 2021 October, 2021 May, 1890, right? That was peak of COVID, second wave, I think, in India, but yeah, we've still ordered a lot in that time. And then yeah, as you see, it's mostly 2019. And then yeah, I think after the first 6 it flattens out, like we spent less than like 1,000 rupees a month on Swiggy. So this is also a way for you to analyze your spending pattern to see where you can cut down cost, how much you're spending on Swiggy, right? This is a very useful query to do something like that. So let me also save this. So that was another, I think, question not only for Swiggy to answer, but also you personally to understand, where you're spending the most money and stuff like that, right? So let's go back to the data again. From a business angle, another interesting metric companies use is called as average order value. Okay, on average per order, how much do customers spend? This is a very straightforward formula. How can we calculate that? So you will simply say sum of order total, right, and divide it, right? So total revenue made divided by the total number of orders, which is count of distinct order ID. This will give you something called as average order value or AOV. Let us see our average order value. Per order, how much do we spend on average? We spend around 293 rupees, roughly 300 rupees. And previously we understood we order approximately 2 items per order. That means per item per order we are like spending about 146-47 rupees. So basically 293 by 2 roughly. So AOV is a very good metric like companies want to understand to see how they can improve. So this is a very quick formula to find out AOV. Let's continue further. Let us, for example, try to see, for instance, like every year how much was spent on Swiggy, and also try to find the year-on-year change in revenue or something like that. This is going to get a little bit complicated, but let's anyways try and do it. So how would you do it? For example, we want to do it per year, right? So we can say year of order time, right? And then I just need to do the sum of order total as revenue. Let me give it a name, revenue. And then I group by year of order time, right? So I think this should work. Let's see. Okay, there's no direct year function, so we'll have to resort to our format underscore date only then. So we can say percentage y, I just want the year, right? And I will also do the same here. So let me just simply copy this one and put it here. Okay, I think this should work. Let's see. Okay, I think 2017 Swiggy was also pretty new. We didn't order much, and as you see, right, like all these years, and we have the information. Now we want to, for example, see year on year change in revenue. How will we do that? So first of all, to just get this data, I'm going to copy this query and save it. And then coming back here, now I think it's going to get a bit complicated. You might need to use the lag function or something, right? So I'll just put this full thing in a with statement, right? So I'll say with final as, I'll give it a name final, and I'll put this whole thing into a with statement. That's step number 1. And now from that final, so let me give this an alias name. Let's say year order or something. Okay, now what I want to see is, I want to see select year order, of course the revenue, and then also to find previous year value, we can say lag of revenue over, there's no need to partition by anything here, order by year order, right? Ascending order. This is basically nothing but previous revenue from final. So if I run this, let's see what we get. For instance, 2017, there was no previous value, it is null, right? 474 was the revenue in that year, previous value, nothing is there. For 2018, we know that previous value was 2017's value, which is 474, and that is what we are getting here. Let's move to 2019. We made 7484. Previous year is what? 2018, which is 3436. and that 3436 value we are getting as previous revenue. So now you could simply like subtract revenue minus previous revenue and find out, for instance, percentage change or percentage growth. Another commonly asked question in SQL interview. So do keep this in mind. Do understand the lag function. The same question, right? Suppose we wanted to rank the years. Say the first rank was given to the year which had the highest revenue. So what could we do? So I would just like replace this last part, right? And I could, for example, just rank, right? So I could say rank, no need to do any partition, and I want to order by revenue descending. And I will give this an alias name ranking. This will give us an idea which year was the best. Year order. Okay. We have to say from final. I forgot to put that. As you see, rank 1 went to 2021, 11,343 rupees was ordered. 2019 was second highest, about 7484 was ordered. 2020 was low, probably because of COVID, but it gets the rank 3. So you could also do a rank. So I'll just put this here. And the same way, suppose you want to do the rank but per restaurant, right? What will change? You can simply replace this part with restaurant name, and obviously here I will group by restaurant name, and I'll change this also to restaurant name. And as we know, table has fetched the, since we have ranked this, let's also order in the final, right? Like let's say order by revenue descending to see rank 1. So bowl company, of course, we saw it had the most number of orders also, right? So bowl company comes first, then you have Mansuk's at 2, McDonald's at 3, Domino's at 4, right? So this is the ranking for revenue for this particular customer. Which restaurant has he ordered the most? So let's just copy and put this here. Okay, now that we have done all this, let's do something simpler. So let's, for example, see what money was made in the various types of rain mode, right? There was a column called rain mode. So I would simply say select star from this table again. Okay, and let's see the revenue distribution according to rain mode. So I'll simply say rain mode, sum of order total, and group by rain mode. Okay, most of the revenue has been made when 0 rain mode was there. Probably it was not raining. 263. Rest are like very minimal, right? So this is a good way to understand. Okay, if the customer tries to avoid ordering when it's raining or something like that. Okay, this is one interesting question to ask. Now let's go back to our other table, right? So let us say we want to see in each order what items were ordered, things like that. How could we do that? We could simply do a join, right? So I can say, let's say in this table I want the items, right? So I'll say a dot name, a dot for example, is veg was an option here, right? So I'll simply say from this table, then I need to join it with the orders table on order ID. So I'll say join, right? I can simply do an inner join here. So I'll simply say join B on A dot order ID equal to B dot order ID, right? And what else I need? I probably need the from B table, let's say restaurant name, and yeah, b dot order id, and probably b dot order time as well. So I see, okay, for example, in this first order from Sri Gupta Bhavan, 2 items were ordered, Sev Puri and Masala Puri. Then from Shyam's Bombay Alva House, in this same order, right, 3 items have been ordered, Masala Kulcha, onion, aloo, mixed paratha, and also mixed vegetable raita. Okay. So we get an idea by doing the join. Okay, in each order, what items were placed and like when they were placed, right? So this is the way you could join the tables and get a combination of this data. And then let's just do one more thing. Suppose you want to hunt for product combinations which are probably ordered together, right? You may not get insights sometimes, but it's at least good to try. In one of the previous videos also we have done something like this. I'll link it in the description, but let's try and do that. So you will use a concept called as a self join here. So for instance, I will say select everything from this table, then I will join it on the same table, right? Join it on itself basically. That's why it's called a self join on order id, a dot order id equal to b dot order id, right? And I will simply say, for instance, a dot name, b dot name, and then concat of a dot name comma b dot name. Okay, should have been b dot name. Let's try and run this now. Let's see what we get. So we get name 1, name 2, and the basically the combination, right? For example, so you have chicken fried rice, some BBQ ordered alongside naan. If I go down a little further, I think it'll be easier to understand. For example, you have gobi manchurian dry in that same order. It was probably ordered with paratha kurma, then paratha kurma gobi manchurian, right? So you have these combinations. To just make it a little better, like we will have a lot of repetitions, I can also add the order id, right? So I can say add a dot order id, and also to remove duplicates. Obviously I don't want the same item names coming parallelly, so I'll say where a dot order id not equal to a dot name not equal to b dot name. And also, since the reverse order will also come, we can add this extra condition, a dot name less than b dot name. So this will only remove the reverse repeats. And let me separate these two probably with a hyphen or something. Now let's try and run this query. And now we get, okay, chicken fried rice, some BBQ, and then naan. So if I scroll down, we get all the combinations. For example, in this particular order, right, 8, 6, 7, whatever, there were 3 items ordered. So chicken parcel, chicken sausage, this is a combo. Chicken parcel, paneer onion is a combo. Chicken sausage, paneer and onion is a combo. So this way you can find what are the combo products customer likes to order together, and then make some business decisions accordingly. So I have linked the link to this Google Doc where you can like grab the queries. I'm also attaching the data so you can try it on your system. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this video, stay till this point, please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more interesting real data videos like this. I'll see you again in another video. Till then, take care.